Welcome to the new episode of Vande Mataram, the story of India's brave hearts. I'm going to today talk to you about not the contribution of one individual, rather about a village in Nagaland which hosted Azad Hind Fauj and Subhash Chandra Bose and contributed immensely to India's struggle for independence. I'm going to present before you India's first INA administrated village, that is Ruzazho. The Battle of Kohima, one of the world's toughest battles during Second World War, was fought in the year 1944 on the Naga soil. Therefore, many of the fiercest battles fought at places like Chozuba, where the place is even named. After the battle, as Japan Riba, a battle at Pansha in Tucson on the bombing of INA camp at Ruzazho village, etc., were hardly or not heard or recorded in history. However, till recently, the major source for writing the history of Nagas is oral tradition. But in recent times, the history is being documented. One such history has been recorded from Ruzazho village of Peck district in Nagaland about the presence of Netaji and INA with the Allied forces, that is Japanese, during April to May 1944. Netaji and his armies stayed in the village. Netaji and INA with the Allied Japanese came through Jesami via Peck, Kuza, and Mutsale to Ruzazho village. According to Sri Poshubai Swara, who is around 98 years of age, Bose, along with his armies and Japanese, reached the village at dawn and called for the general public meeting at a place called Mito Chope. When the villagers gathered, Bose inquired if there were any among them who studied or studying from the village. The villagers responded by mentioning Posuvai's name, as he was the only person who passed class 3. Sri Poshuvai Swaru was then called by Bose to the front and was asked if he would be the DB, the Dobashi, for the surrounding area. On agreeing to the proposal, Bose wrote his name in his personal diary. After that, he gave an opportunity to the villagers by asking who would be willing to be the Gaon Budha, the village heads, whereby 10 villagers raised their hands. Netaji Bose wrote their names in the diary as well. The villagers were given their assignment, such as collection of rations, firewood, water, grass for their horses, etc. They were to report through their representatives, who were just appointed by Bose. Netaji and his team stayed at Ruzazho village for 9 days. During this stay in the village, the villagers ran out of their food grains, vegetables, and most of their domesticated animals. Still, the villagers did not feel much pain with the hope that one day they would see their village develop as promised by Subhash Chandra Bose. Sri Poshuvaiswaro Bidi was sent to the neighboring villages like Pugi and Sotuzu for rations. He and his brother was also given a mission to lead their INA allied forces to Satakha via Zulha, Kilomi, and stayed at Shatakha for a night. The next day, on learning about the presence of British forces at Zubi Boots, they decided to retreat back to the base at Ruzazho village. On that fateful day, while crossing Zoluha village, the British troops ambushed them, and one Sema guy was shot just in front of them, who succumbed to his injuries and died on the spot. But Poshuwai and his brother luckily escaped the attack and returned to the village. It is worth mentioning that the entire village, including women folk, were involved in helping Netaji and the INA soldiers in one way or the other. The villagers were engaged in carrying their rations to different locations and camps and also carried their weapons, while some were engaged in building their base camps, while others would help them in guiding them to different places and so on. Ruzazho is the first administrated village by INA and Subhash Chandra Bose after reaching Naga soil with powers given to the villagers as DB and GBS for administration. Vice President of India visited Ruzazho village on 8 October 2021 to meet Sri Poshubai Swaro, who was appointed by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose to administer the surrounding areas during the Indian freedom struggle in April 1944. Thank you. Namaskar.